Allan here chatting with Charlotte Kirk, one of the stars of this fantastic film that we just had a chance to watch, Duchess, available on digital and on demand August 9th. Thanks for your time. It's great to meet you, and congratulations on this fun project for sure.
Oh, thank you, Brett. Thank you for taking the time to watch it. It's something I'm very proud of. Very, very proud.
Yeah, I would say so. It's so good, and it's got all the things that you would want in an action thriller. How did you get involved with the project, and what interested you in being involved?
So this is something that I co-wrote with Neil Marshall, the director. We had done two movies prior to this, The Reckoning and The Lair, which are very, very two different kinds of movies, both horror movies.
Yeah.
And we were sitting there one day talking about what project do we want to do next. And that's when we started talking about classic gangster movies. And I was like, wouldn't it be cool to do a gangster movie? But what about a gangster movie with a woman boss? Like, I haven't seen that before. That would be pretty cool. And then that's kind of how the idea came about. And then me and Neil co-wrote it in 2018. We shot it in 2022. So it was our pet project. It was our baby for a long time. Yeah, so I helped conceive this project, really.
Yeah, and of course you have a great cast too, whom
Yes.
we'll be speaking with in the coming days. And it's an interesting synopsis logline about a small-time crook who tries to enter the underworld of diamond trafficking, and everything sort of ensues from there. When you're telling a story like this, I mean, there's just so many different possibilities that you could do and places you can go. When you're creating it, you know, how do you put yourself into the position to decide, which direction you're going to go? Because there's just a lot of story there for sure.
So much. Well, originally it was going to be, because gangster, right? What can we do when it comes to the gangster underworld of criminals? So it was originally going to be drugs set in Mexico, and I thought, you know what, that's been done to death. That's been done
Yeah,
so.
that's a lot of different movies for sure.
Yeah, most gangster movies are pretty much drugs. So Neil said it would be nice to do like a glamorous gangster movie with like beautiful locations, and then he was like, well, why don't we make it about diamonds? That just makes it glamorous and adds that kind of different layer to it that we haven't seen before in quite some time. And we wanted it to be about a woman's rise to power, like an underdog in this criminal world, and a rise to power. And I think that's what we achieved here. It's kind of My Fair Lady scenario, right, where she kind of starts off as a small town crook, and then her arc, where she goes it's pretty far journey for her. And what in between there's a lot of story in this, as you say. It's not just a run-of-your-mill action movie. It's about love and power and family and betrayal, and I think that's what makes it interesting, and that's what makes a lot of these gangster movies, the epic Scarface, Casinos. That's what makes them so good, that they have so much story to them. They're not just a action revenge flick, And a part of this, a big inspiration for this film was Man on Fire with Denzel Washington, because that revenge doesn't take place till halfway through the movie, because you get to love and understand and know the characters first. A lot of these revenge movies happen within the first 5 minutes, and I think it's difficult for the audience to connect and to fall in love with this character before. That's why we really wanted the revenge to come as later as possible, really, and just build the momentum with the characters.
It's interesting you mentioned Man on Fire, because I got that vibe a little bit. Was that intentional when you were putting this together?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
we just wanted to we wanted the audience to fall in love with these characters. I don't want to give anything away, but with Rob McNaughton, you want to fall in love with him. Yes, Duchess and Rob are kind of anti-heroes, but I'm hoping you're still rooting for them, because they're baddies, but they're up against even worse people. and I think that for me anyway, I think they're just great characters that you ultimately root for, and I'm hoping the audience does too.
Yeah, I will tell you, that's one of the things, when I've been doing this for so long, and interviewed so many people about so many different stories. And sometimes, as a member of a press or whatever, you watch these films and they're almost kind of predictable in a way. And that's not a bad thing. But as you
Mm.
said, that traditional gangster revenge story, it's kind of like hard to go to the well and create something different and unique. But every time it's successfully done. Also,
Yes.
you mentioned My Fair Lady. Now that you're saying that, I can think about that a little bit too. But I definitely got the Man on Fire vibes. You have a great cast surrounding you as well. Everybody in this is just really good. Particularly, Colm is so he plays such a good bad guy. I think is really cool or misunderstood, right? Because every bad guy, their mom or dad would probably say they were a good they were a good child at one point.
Yes,
Even
absolutely.
Jeffrey Dahmer's parents probably were surprised. I don't know.
Exactly. And it's kind of that bias thing, I guess, as well. No, I love that. That was one of my favorite scenes to shoot when she goes to visit her dad in prison. And I was just so excited to work with him. He's such a legend, and especially in this genre as well, coming from, he's in Layer Cake and many other cool, like the Gangs of London as well, he was in. So just, yeah, incredible. And his role is pretty out there. Like he's I think his character is quite hard to like, especially his relationship between him and Scarlett. But yeah, I just love that scene. I love that scene between them. I think it's one of my favorite scenes in the movie.
Yeah, particularly the exchange of, the regret and I wish I would have done things differently. It's always the case when things don't go the way that you expect, but also
Mhm.
you can sense the loyalty between the two of them as well, where
Yeah.
she wants to believe, and maybe I'm surmising, but you're nodding yes, but she wants to believe that he's a good person because that's her dad. So I
I
think
want.
that's kind of interesting to have that dichotomy and be able to emote that when you're telling these stories through your acting and things. Well, this is so good. And I think when people get a chance to watch it, I will believe they will appreciate it. Again, as I mentioned, we've got your other castmates that we're going to be talking to here over the coming days. But thematically, there's a lot happening here.
Mhm.
What maybe is one or two things, Charlotte, that you want? It doesn't have to be deep, but maybe a message that you're looking for that you want audiences to be able to get, or maybe it's just, have a good time and enjoy some action and some badass revenge for sure.
I mean, I kind of want them to come out of this film almost like just coming off a roller coaster, and I'm hoping
Yeah.
I have a roller coaster um emotions throughout watching this film, because I'm hoping you might cry in some parts. Don't want to give any spoilers. You're
No, 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 for sure.
Yeah, you're gonna laugh. You're gonna just with me watching it with an audience already, I've seen people laugh, cry, get scared, shocked, and that's what I want, really, just a whole variety of emotions from the audience, because I don't think it's just that one, and that's what makes it very interesting. It's not just one steady journey here. It's watching her journey, and it's come such a long way, and there's just so many elements to it. So I think it's that, and also feel empowered as well.
Yeah.
You don't really see this kind of role at all for a woman. This role would usually would be a male role. So I think it's really, really cool and inspiring to see a female do this kind of role.
Yes. Well, as we wrap here, you've done so many great things, but I have to ask about Ocean's 8. That was a lot of fun.
Oh,
How was that experience to work on that film and to be able to tell a different story, a very female empowered story about, doing the same things, but again, really good action, really good redemption, and that sort of thing.
incredible, absolutely incredible. And of course, like working with Richard Armitage and Sandra Bullock, I mean, two, you know, movie legends. Um, it's just great to work with great actors. It really
Hmm.
you know, their status, A-listers or first-time actors. We're all here to do the same job and make the best movie possible, right? And for me, it's all about the script and the role. And that was a great experience as well, working with Sandra Bullock. It was amazing. So yeah, and then to be a female Ocean's 8 in that film, that was awesome. Just fun
Yeah.
stuff.
Very cool. Well, this film, Duchess, will be available on digital and on demand August 9th. We've been chatting with the wonderfully talented Charlotte Kirk. Charlotte Kirk. Good grief, I can't even talk. It's been a long day. Congratulations on all your success, and thanks for hanging out today. I appreciate your time, and this is a great film. People will love it, I'm sure.
Thank you, Brett. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you.